valuable content, entertaining or educational. Um, Today, guys, we're going to go over kind of the basics of what used to be GMB, Google My Business, which is now Google Business Profile. People always want to know, how do you end up in these map results? There's a lot of different answers, and I'm going to try to bring you the best information I can, hopefully jam-packed in a quick session here. So first and foremost, I want to talk about how you search or how someone searches. Got Best Med Spa Reno. We've got Med Spa Reno. Best Plastic Surgeons Reno. Plastic Surgeons Reno. Plumbers Reno. Best Plumbers Reno. Let's stay on plumbers for just a moment. I typed in Plumbers Reno. I got these 3 results. Okay. You see the star rating, how many years they've been in business, all the information. But when I go to type in best, you notice the rating, it has to be 4.0 or higher. So if anybody tells you that reviews don't matter as far as it relates to ranking, that's true and untrue at the same time. Google, one of the main ranking factors for Google Business Profile is prominence, right? How prominent you are in your community. So obviously, the better reviews you have, the more prominent you are. The next is proximity. How far are you from where the searcher is? The next is relevance. How relevant are you in relation to what I'm searching for? So if I type in Best Plumbers Reno, most likely you're going to have a 4+ star rating. Typically, I see it's actually not here, but typically it's 4.5 stars or better in most categories. You'll see the results of 4.5 stars. So again, we talk to a lot of folks every single day about Google Business Profile. And one of the things that I find quite fascinating is when we talk to people just like you about this for their business, we always ask them how they search for themselves. Oh, yesterday me and my buddy went to a restaurant and I typed in restaurant near me. Well, you use it every single day in your personal life, but you're not utilizing it for your business. And whether you have the map doctors or a company that competes with us manage your Google Business Profile, it doesn't really matter. Or you can do it yourself, because Google Business Profile is free. If you get phone calls to the office that tell you different, that's a lie. I will say, though, I believe, this is my own personal opinion, probably in the middle of 22, I believe you're going to have to pay for it. Google has spent a ton of money behind, which was Google My Business for the last year. Last year was probably one of the biggest financial commitments they made to it. So now stay with me here. We're going to go back and dive into the map listing. So how can you make your map listing better? And even 34 reviews, 323 reviews. I would say Hawthorne's doing the best job at reviews, but let's click into it. And let's see what's going on with their reviews once they are leaving the reviews. Okay, great. So guys, one of the key factors in managing your listing is all these reviews that get left. It doesn't matter, bad, good, and different. You want to respond to all of those reviews. I think that's a very overlooked aspect of Google Business Profile. When someone comes to your your page and they look at it and you got 300 reviews and none of them are responded to, I think it gives the end user, the searcher, like, do these guys even care about what the customers are saying? And contrary to popular belief, the only thing Google cares about is their end user experience. And if you impede their end user, they're going to penalize you. So having information across your site and your Google Business Profile, things like NAP, name, address, phone number, making sure those things match up. If you're at 123 Elm Street on your GMB or your GBP, and on your site, you're at 123 Elm Street, Suite C1, Google doesn't love that. So they need to talk to each other and make sure that information is the same. So this is the first thing, is getting these reviews. Get reviews. Guys, 77% of people you ask to leave a review will leave a review. Granted that it's done in a polite fashion. Something like, we appreciate your patronage of our business, or it's clients like you that make, the world a better place. And one of the ways that will help us better manage our business is for you to leave a review, whether it's good or bad, because, you're going to learn more from a bad review than you probably are a good review. Every time you get a good review, patting yourself on the back. But when you get a bad review and you get a couple of bad reviews in this along the same lines, food took too long. Um, what would be another one for car dealership? The guy was really salesy or whatever, and maybe it's the same individual over and over again, or the gal at the med spa just was kind of rude. And if Julie's being rude 5 times in a row, we're probably gonna have to have a conversation with Julie around that. So there's a lot of great information that's happening in your Google business profile that I don't feel like a lot of folks are paying attention to. So that's number one. The reviews are important. Responding to the reviews are very important. Now I want to kind of move into a little known strategy that I love. So we go down to here to this questions and answers section. You can actually do this without logging into your GBP. And I'll show you right here. How much is your hourly rate? And it's funny, they already have suggested answers right here. So I'm going to hit post. And I'm going to hit done. And now somebody from the business can answer the question, and actually anyone online can answer this question. So that's where it becomes interesting. One of the things we like to do when we onboard new customers, and you can do this yourself, is what are the 10 questions, 5 questions that you get asked over and over? Maybe questions that are loading up an email box, or questions that are overloading phone lines that can be asked right here. Go ahead and ask all those questions, just like I just did here, and then go ahead and answer the questions. I don't know the answer to this question, so I'm not going to put it, but go ahead and answer that question as the business. And guys, if you have any questions, there's a chat here. We can chat it up. Okay, let's move on to the next piece, which is, again, we loaded up all these different industries so you guys could see them. When I type in best med spa compared to med spa, I get Belgray, Posh, Sugar. When I go back to best, I get Belgray, Posh still, and Renew. So there's the difference in the search terms. And I can guarantee you that if you're coming up for best of anything and it's your niche, best roofer, best plumber, best carpet cleaner, and you're in this map pack, you're going to make a lot more money than you're making today. It just is the way it is. I mean, I was just looking back at some of our detail clients across the country, and our average detail client is averaging 75 new phone calls a month. And when I say new, I mean unique phone calls. So if a phone call comes in from the same person 4 times, we don't recount that phone call. So 75 unique phone calls for mobile detailing businesses across the country and all kinds of different markets, from Omaha to Reno to Seattle to Cincinnati to Jacksonville. So there's a lot of testing in a bunch of different markets. So now we're here. You got your listing. Let's just pull up Belgray for a minute. And let's see what's going on here with their reviews. Again, great. They're responding to reviews. It's very important. And then you got this AI built into here. So if you're an end user customer, they're able to just go like, oh, Botox, bam. What are these people saying about Botox? Again, making the end user experience better for them. So as I click out of here and I scroll down through the listing, you have the ability to put your COVID protocols or any other health and safety protocols that you have. You have the ability to put appointment links in here, a place where you might sell products and services. A lot of med spas, I noticed, have a med spa site, and then typically they'll have a store site. So if this was my business, I actually wouldn't put the main website here. I would put the store site here so that folks could go there and buy the products that they needed. When we scroll down, now this is a big one, and kudos to these guys. You don't see a lot of folks posting. For me, my business, I'd like to post every day, at minimum every other day. And you post, you can post just like you do on social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. But I will show you something that we do that I don't see here. So here, let me pull up a client, I believe. These guys are new with us. I want to show you something. Let's scroll down here to the post. Okay, so when we make the post, you see it's a little bit more engaging than, where were we? Than this. Maybe some more icons or emojis or whatever have you. But when we go back over here, you'll see we like to link to the last post, like to be able to book your services now. and then putting some of the areas that you're representing. Now, I will say a couple things. You cannot put phone numbers in these posts. The one thing that we have gotten by with before is actually putting a phone number in the image. But if you put a phone number in the post, they will take it down. Might take a couple days, but they will take it down. It's not going to hurt the listing. They're not going to suspend it. But if you continually do things like that against Google's TOS, they will take it down. Okay, so moving on. This is really important too, guys. I would say adding a post, like I said, every other day. Let's do it. You know, one of the cool things that you can do is go to your Instagram page, your Facebook page, copy the post and regurgitate it on your Google business profile. So hopefully that makes sense. One of the things we like to do, I don't know many customers that do it, is this phone number here. We like to track and record this phone number so that you can see calls that are coming in. For example, this is one of our listings, kind of a fake listing, if you will. And if I hit this play button, I'm going to get this 31-second phone call. Same here, I already played this one. And it tells you who the caller ID is. I'll click into a record real quick. Let's see if I can do this real fast. So it gives you how long you spoke, how long they spoke. So if you're an organization where you really like the client to speak more than your agent or the gentleman or woman answering the phone, you're going to be able to get a good insight into how that's happening by utilizing the call tracking. But the cool thing about this call tracking is I can actually, for example, if you were a place that had a static cost, something was $500, and these guys booked, let's say I could go qualified, I could hit it with a tag. I could say create new tag, new customer. Oops. New customer. Wow, if I could spell, that would be great, guys. Create the new tag. Okay, so this is Joe, let's say, and then I have a value, $500. So you have access to all this software that you're seeing right now. So let's just, for an example, let's say that we brought you 20 new customers this month. That would equal $10,000. And if we were charging you $397, we would expect that we would both agree that's probably a fair trade. It's actually one of the things that we do on our pre-calls is making sure what you're comfortable with. What are you expecting from our service? Because our service isn't just about generating leads, although that's fantastic. It's about protecting the reputation of the business, making the business known, right? And through some of these practices, 90% of our clients do reside in let's go back here, in this map pack. Okay, there's actually 3 spots in the map pack. They've experimented with a bunch of different things, 4-pack and 8-pack. And you'll see 4 and you'll say, Stan, well, there's 4. Well, there is 4, but this one's an ad. And if you're running PPC, and I don't want to get into that because we're exclusively a Google Business Profile company, but I will tell you that if you're running PPC and you're experimenting, running PPC in the Google Business Profile section is probably your best bet when you're starting. It's a little bit less expensive. So just keep that in the back of your hat in case you do run PPC ads, pay-per-click ads with Google. Okay, guys, let's go into a couple other things. Now, images. If you put good images up, I don't have to go searching. I mean, we think best practices is 100 images. So for like Hawthorne, they're doing good. And so what's funny is when you're getting the job done today and we have conversations, you're like, wow, it's working great. It could work great today, but it might not work great in 3, 4, 5, 6 months down the road. So our suggestion to all clients is 100 images at minimum inside of your Google business profile, high quality, right? And so not to pick on these guys, but this is very pixelated and nobody cares about that image. So team members, jobs being done, before and afters, those are the types of things that customers out there want to see. So guys, hopefully you found this educational. Again, if you're following us on YouTube, hit like and subscribe. If you find the content valuable, educational, funny, today wasn't very funny, unfortunately. I'll bring better jokes next time. But guys, enjoy your Thursday and we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.